passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us on GMT this morning. We are coming to you live from the outside. Yes, we are at the Lust this morning, and we had conversations about Father's Day. Lavion started the show with me, and to end it, it's not just Lavion keeping me company, but we have Adana still in the house. Adana, let me welcome you to GMT this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be on GMT once again. Thank you, guys.
Yes, and of course, we want to talk a little bit of fathers as we look to wrap up in a few minutes. And I know, Adana, you mentioned something earlier when we were having a conversation, and I want you just to raise that with our viewers this morning.
You know, we're heading into Father's Day weekend. We're celebrating our fathers on a Sunday. And I really want us to invest that time into acknowledging our fathers for who they are.
Yes.
I know there are some challenges and there are instances where fathers might not be present, but I don't want the opportunity to be missed to appreciate them.
Definitely.
Sometimes you hear for single mothers might say, oh, happy Father's Day to me. We're not encouraging that in these parts at all.
Right.
Let the fathers get their moment to shine. Yeah. I know there are challenges, I know there are situations where they might not be around, but Sunday is for them. It's one day a year they get, and let's just give it to them whether they're there or not. It's Father's Day, and so on these parts, we celebrate fathers. We want to celebrate them and give them what is theirs, because when it's Mother's Day, it's all about the mothers, right?
Yeah.
Whether
I can tell you, you hear it's like a countdown. Months before you see the commercials,
That's
you
right.
see whether the children are bringing home notes from their teachers to put aside this, so we're getting this ready for our mothers. And then Father's Day is nearing, and okay, what are we doing for our fathers?
That's right. So we want to give them, you know, their just due. As I said, I know there are challenges, but there are also challenges with mothers, and we still appreciate them. So we're going to give them what they deserve. They are the father. A mother cannot be a father.
Yeah.
Right? I am a mother, and I cannot be a father as well. There are things that a man needs to teach my son that I cannot teach. You know, so we have to acknowledge them for the contributions they have made, whether they are present or not. Somebody is fathering your child. So let us give them that just due.
And Lavian, what are your thoughts as we look at, you know, how we celebrate fathers?
I love how Adana said somebody is fathering you, because whether or not biological daddy is present, there's somebody, there's uncle, there's grandpa, there's big brother.
Yes.
Yeah. There's godfathers. There are some really present godparents. Yeah. And so give kudos just to the men. We have to encourage them. I mean, sometimes even you look at initiatives being rolled out, you look at corporate initiatives that are being rolled out, and it's mostly girls and women and mothers, and we sort of leave the men to lag behind. But when we leave them to lag behind and then we chastise them for not being as involved, then what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? We are sort of defeating our very own purpose. We're sort of holding back ourselves as well, because we need them. You know, that masculine and feminine energy works together in such a flow that is just natural and beautiful. And because we need both energies and we need both parents, let us try our let us encourage them. You know, we've had stigma for so many years that Black fathers are absent.
Yeah.
And we have the Black fathers that are present and that are trying and that have probably socio-economical issues that are holding them back. But let us continue to encourage our Black fathers to be great.
And I want to share with you the pity. I should have probably given our producers some photos. Little Jewel's early childhood in Sandy River Mason Hall. Yesterday, the fathers were invited to comb their daughters or sons' hair.
Nice.
So
yes, I saw the photos.
Right.
Yes.
So for those of you, check out their Facebook page. You saw the salon, the booth number 1, 2, and you had these daddies holding their own.
Yeah.
You know, combing the hair, plaiting. I'm like, I even went, because I had on my bandeau and the breeze had the hair, so I walked and I said, okay, which daddy is going to rise to the challenge? Because you all are doing your thing.
That's right.
You know, and it's really just about celebrating. Sometimes the adults may not have a good relationship, but mommies teach your children to love their fathers.
Yeah.
Encourage them to do kind things for their fathers, because there are some men who want to be there.
Yes.
But sometimes that female keeps them away from but try not, don't, because when the children get older, they see what's happening, and then they may resent you, mommy, for keeping daddy or keeping me away from daddy. So it's Father's Day. If it is a little card they have to color and draw, if it's the young ones, allow them to do something. So you are teaching them to show appreciation for daddy.
And the children must not suffer the break between the mother and father. Allow them to, as you said, to acknowledge their father and appreciate. It doesn't matter what happened between you and daddy. Longs for that relationship with mommy and with daddy, the same way you want them to love you and you want to be the dominant parent. They also they yearn for that relationship with their father as well. And I know that there are challenges with men who really want to be present, but they are restricted because of that break in the relationship. And so it's difficult for them even to have any type of impact on their child's life, and it's very unfortunate. And while we think we're spiting the fathers, we're actually doing something to our children.
Definitely.
And they are seeing these things, and as you say, when they grow older, they remember things, and they will start asking questions, and we don't want resentment. What we want in these streets is love.
Definitely.
We want love for mommy, and we want love for daddy, and we focus in this weekend on daddy. So if you have a daddy around, or you have a man who is a daddy to your child, show him some measure of respect or some type of love. Buy him a card to go to the spa, send a happy Father's Day text, say, I appreciate you, something to show our fathers that we love them, we appreciate them for all that they have done. They're trying to do, and even when, as Lavian said, sometimes there might be challenges with socioeconomic challenges, financial challenges, whatever the challenges are, we have to encourage them. And I always tell people, an empowered man is an empowered society. My life becomes easier when the man is able to do or allowed to be who he really is called to be in the life of the child, in the life of society, wherever they are. So we really need to change the conversation and change the narrative and start lending the same measure of support we give to men and it so deserve it because they contribute. You can child on your own.
No,
If you go to and you ask for some injection, you still have to have the contribution of a man. So allow him to be that part of the child's life as well.
Yeah, and I really want to touch on something that you stepped on there, Adana, and you mentioned working together, that co-parenting. When are we going to really step up on this conversation and start talking about healthy co-parenting? Yeah, because when we co-parent in a much more healthy way, we're not only talking about the benefits of the child, we're talking about the benefits of both the adults in the situation, that mental health benefits. Yeah, because when I could have a cordial conversation with you, when something could happen and I could pick up the phone and say, hey, this is what happened with our child today. It puts me as a woman in such a peaceful place mentally, and it puts you as a man in a peaceful place mentally, because you know that once I am at peace, your child is at peace. And us working together, co-parenting, is going to be healthy mentally for the child, for you, and for me. So we need to really have that co-parenting conversation a lot more.
And it's not just about selecting this one day, Father's Day, to show appreciation, because sometimes we are also guilty of that. We don't pay attention to the father figures, but we hear Father's Day is coming along, so we rush and we just get something done. Check, okay, we'll take him to breakfast, we'll do this. And you also have the mothers who may even say, well, my father is dead, that's the children's father. But if you have young children, you have to be a part of that planning. You have to teach them, and when they become older, then they will take over. But it's really about teaching our children to show appreciation for their fathers. And as they learn that, they learn about respecting others. As well. Because I think sometimes we box everything in isolation. But if you teach your children to respect their father, respect is not just an isolated behavior that we learn. So we have to take all of these things into consideration. Make our men feel special. Nothing is wrong with that. You may not have money to go to brunch, etc., but make the effort. I'm sure you can do something at home, whether you want to make pancakes for the very first time, just have fun. But viewers, we must take a break and we'll continue this conversation. If you want to be a part of the conversation, share us your thoughts, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, and we'll share it with everyone here. So let's go to that break and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na.
Welcome back, viewers. And with me this morning is two lovely ladies, Lavion and Adana, and we continue just having a chit-chat about fathers, the role fathers play in our lives, and how we should ensure we treat them special. Not only on Sunday because it's Father's Day, but we really need to make that effort to show appreciation to our fathers, our father figures in our lives.
Yes, and as we're showing appreciation to our fathers, one of the best ways to show appreciation is to ensure you allow them to be a part of the child's life, involvement in activities. I know most times we think that father is just supposed to be the provider and the disciplinarian, but in terms of activities and being involved in other things that the child does, extracurricular activities, it's very important to have the father involved in those things as much as possible. And I want to say kudos to all the schools who have had their Father's Day celebrations this week. As you mentioned, Little Jewels yesterday, and I know Signal Hill Government Primary School, today they have their Boys' Day, and they have invited the fathers to be a part of that as well, where the boys will be playing, having lots of fun, haircuts and all these types of things, and daddies would be involved in that as well. So we want to remember them when we're planning activities to ensure that involved and they can. But just something as simple with daddy is so important. Men taking their sons to the barber shop and taking them to soccer, football games. Those things are very important. And many yearn for these things. They really do yearn for these things. So I want to say congratulations to Principal Devines there out at Signal Hill for allowing that to happen. And I know Sir Peter Kane is up and up in that activity today. And all the male teachers and all the daddies go out today and spend that time with your son in school, and all the other schools that are participating in this type of events, ensuring that daddies are seen, daddies are involved. And even as our young boys, they are one day hopefully going to be daddies as well. So teach them from now how to have that kind of conversation and that relationship with daddy, so when their time comes, they know how to bond with their children in that type of way.
And not just teach sons, but you have daughters, and your daughters at one point will have a life partner.
That's right.
And many times I keep mentioning, many times we are not aware of how relationships impact us as we grow from childhood into young adults, and we have to make decisions. So if you have a father who treats you like a princess, you would look for a life partner who treats you like a queen.
That's right.
And there are certain things you will not accept because this is not how daddy treated. Fathers, you have a very important role, not just to play in the lives of your son, but in your daughters as well. And we know the bond between fathers and us. Daddy's little girl.
That's right.
There's something special, and somehow the fathers can't tell the little girls no. So that's when mommy gets a little upset sometimes, and spoiling her too much and that kind of thing. But let us really let our men feel appreciated. And we know there are some delinquent ones, but maybe find a way to provide support and help bring them around. Because you would have mentioned to Lavian, there are situations sometimes. And in our society, we don't deal with issues. We are not allowed to speak about it. We are labeled that. So we don't go to colleges, we don't go to schools, we don't get professional help to deal with trauma from, earlier, etc. And sometimes men are just dealing with things, and maybe they had an absent father. Maybe they don't know how to be a father. Do we have parenting classes that seriously where certain
about more established mentoring, because mentoring is, I think mentoring is a tool that we overlook in our society, very open to, and as we're on a school principal, Mr. Jasper Jofield, Ebenezer Methodist, Betsy's Hope. Yes, small school, but we're small, and we were quite mighty, and we're still mighty on that little hill. I remember even as his son is out this morning, he would keep us out like until break time sometimes on a morning, and he would just be talking about current affairs, and our little knees would be tired and we'd be leaning on somebody next to us. But as I look back in retrospect, he was actually trying to fill voids that he knew that were there. Things that we weren't getting at home, guidance that we wasn't getting, showing us things that are so important to us and our development. And, even sometimes I would have heard adults from around saying, oh gosh, I make Jasper get the picnic them out there so long, But in retrospect, I see what he was doing, because I would not be the woman that I am today without all those little things that he would have put into me. So, Mr. Jasper Jofield and Mr. Noel Sosa at Scarborough Secondary, happy Father's Day to you too.
Right, and happy Father's Day to all our fathers in institutions that are molding young minds. So all our teachers, we say happy Father, or male teachers, happy Father's Day to you. Policemen, happy Father's Day to you. Fire officers, happy Father's Day to you. We want to say happy Father's Day to all our men in our corporate societies. Happy Father's Day to you. And most importantly, to our fathers at home.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day. We see you, we appreciate you, we love you, and we want you to know that you are doing a good job. Even though you are challenged, you're doing a good job, and support is out there for you should you need it. And we want to wish you the very, very best happy Father's Day. All the communities across the island of Tobago, once you are a man, you are a father, or you have potential to be a father, happy Father's Day to you, coming to you from all of us here at the Tobago Update Television. We appreciate you very, very much.
And happy Father's Day to my husband. You know, he's always, he's at work, but he'll always make time for family, do something with the children, create memories, you know, just have conversations with them. As I said, sometimes we think we have to have a big event or plan something, but it's really about quality time. And happy Father's Day to my father, Reynold, who would have done what he thought was best in raising his family as well. So happy Father's Day to all of you, our viewers who are listening. And remember, ladies, make the day something special. Create a memory for the fathers, the father figures, the men. And for those of you who are in those villages where you have that community life and you still look out for each other, you may have a senior citizen who is who is around, who is all alone. Maybe his children are abroad living elsewhere. Remember to stop by and wish that senior citizen a happy Father's Day as well. Let them know that they have not been forgotten. And with that, ladies, we have to bring our show to an end this morning. It is Friday and we are on the outside. We enjoyed, and let me tell you, the sun is out in all her glory.
That's right.
Right, we have her full glory on set this morning, and it's always nice when I can be in the company of intelligent, beautiful women. So thank you so much for your company this morning.
You're welcome, girl.
All right, so viewers, that's it. It's Friday, and as I always tell you, it's Friday, the beginning of the weekend. We know what that means for us here in this part of the world. But remember, whatever activities you plan, whatever you are going to do, remember to stay safe.